So this is the first ramp, well, the first part that I built originally. Oops, fuck that one up. So yeah, it's quite big. It's basically just 3 ramps and a lot of bowls and some other sort of stuff. So yeah, there's basically 2 ways that you can come down off this first ramp. And you can either go the sort of crazy way, which is down here, if you can get it right, which is actually quite hard to do because you've got to sort of grind onto this and you hit this, and then you can either go down the stairs if you manage to stop yourself, or you can try and catch onto one of these other rails, which then obviously bomb you out into that bowl, which is quite fun. And then obviously was the way that I just went down before, which was down this way, which anybody who's played like the sort of last mission on Skate knows that ramp, because it's the last ramp you get in the game. But I actually made it slightly bigger because the original ramp is actually slightly smaller than this. You can actually add in an extra sort of layer of blocks basically to make it even bigger. So it turns a mega ramp into a mega ramp. And then after that you basically got 2 ways you can go, just like in the original thing. You can come down here and you end up in these bowls, which is quite fun to do. Or you can also, if I can get out of this bowl, he says, oops. Right, you can go the other way, which basically takes you through a pipe I put in, which basically just means that you just kind of have a little bit of fun in the pipe, because you can kind of ride on the walls and stuff. If you get it right, you can sort of do this kind of stuff, and yeah, you can actually also do loop-de-loops if you hold and have enough speed. So that obviously this brings you out here, which is quite. This is another thing I made with just these paths basically, but this is mainly for that second ramp, which is up there, which I'll get to in a second. And then I've also got a third ramp, which is over there. And I've also got more bowls here, basically, just to sort of fill in. So like, if you want to do a little thing, you can sort of grind down that, and then grind along there, and you can try and make it over that. And then there's bowls there as well, which you can get into. Then I also made this sort of very sort of pill-shaped bowl, because basically you can either grind into that from that grind rail, if you can get it right, which I might just try and do, or there is a set of steps, so you can just sort of use it independently, which is kind of fun. Let's see if I can actually get on this grind rail. Huh. No. Oh, and of course it's skipping. That's it, for fuck's sake. Always forget to set your session markers. So yeah, there's 2 ways you can go from here anyway. You can sketchy. Hey. So yeah, you can basically do that, which is quite a fun little thing to do. Or you can go down this big rail, which takes you all the way to the ground. And yeah, if you get it right, you can whip round the corner instead of obviously smashing into the wall like I did. But then obviously this is my second ramp, which I made, which is kind of fun, because you can you basically just get whipped into the air and then you land in these bowls, which means that you keep the speed, and then you ultimately end up here. And you can pull various little tricks. And if I run up here, this is my last ramp, but you can also obviously grind down this rail onto that ramp, which is quite fun, because it means that you can basically grind down that, and then you go around the long bend, and then basically down the other ramp. So it's kind of like a big sort of joint thing. And then you've got this way as well, which is similar to the first one, but it's just a bit bigger. Well, sorry, the second one. And then obviously you've just got these pads that you can sort of muck around on and do various stuff. And then yeah, like I say, you can also grind down that rail. Hang on. So if you start here, you can actually grind down here. Oops. He says. But you can. It's easier if you 50-50 or actually board slide it. Just simply because it's just, you know, there's pretty much the safest grinds you can do. If you try to do sort of nose grinds and shit, it's a bit. But yeah, and then you can obviously hit that ramp, and then if you get it right, you can hit that second ramp too. It's just I keep sort of flinging off to one side for some weird reason. And then, like I say, you can actually, you've got like this little thing here where it's basically just, this was originally here in the part, I just changed it a bit. So you can just, you know, do various little shit on that and try and make it across this, which is quite difficult. See. The weird thing about skate though is you actually don't fall in the water, you actually fall on the water because it's a pad. So it is kind of weird, you can't actually fall in the water on skate at all. Apart from one mission, I actually think you can in one mission, but if you're on skate, if you're on the editor, like, it works like a standard pad, but it just knocks you off. You can't skate on it, it's kind of weird. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. As I said, you can actually get into this bowl around the other side too. I actually quite like making these bowls where they aren't actually very wide, but they're quite long, and you can sort of ramp up the height as you go along, because I actually find them the funnest ones to skate, because if you've got a bit of a, well, the wider the gap basically, like, okay, you can get up more speed as you sort of go along, I suppose, but you do tend, well, it's just easy to keep your speed basically, and it's quite easy to learn to do flips and stuff like that if you have ramps with very small, close together quarter pipes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I put that wall in, so literally when you come bombing down from that ramp, you can literally hit up onto these kickers and then do a little bit of a wall ride to sort of turn yourself around. I thought that was a little cool idea to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is my skate park, and yeah, the first of 3.